Hey guys, Riven of Ash here. I've been working in some videos for the channel and I haven't uploaded in a few days. However, I have lots of footage of stuff I've been meaning to show you guys in the meantime. I love making new builds and I thought it would be cool to show you guys some invasions with different builds. The build on the first video is an XMen build I showcase in the XMen invasions. The other builds in this video are my Samurai build and the Frost Knight build. I will talk about those later on. So this is the XMen build. It's a soul level 80 strength build with the Black Knight Great Axe and the Millwood Battle Axe. I'm using the Grass Crest shield because the Great Axe burns a lot of stamina. All the other stuff in the build is quite standard, so I won't go in detail about it. So the first thing I usually do when I invade here is to be aggressive fast, because I don't want them to go through the fog door. And a backstab is really good for that. I didn't mean to do this R2, but these guys are aggro as is, so this worked. They won't go through the fog door. So this guy just runs into me and I go for the turn and burn, which with a Great Axe at this soul level does a shit ton of damage. So now these guys are aggroed on me and they will fight until the end or until they kill me. And I want to take this fight outside because I have more space to roll and that gives me more options. And these guys are fighting relatively close together. You can tell they aren't very experienced. I got hit with the Ultra Great Sword there because of the slope. And this guy now does the strangest thing. He goes into Stomp with his Great Sword, Ultra Great Sword, but he doesn't follow up with anything. So I don't know why he did it, but if he does it again, I have a mental note to capitalize on it. So these guys aggro the Corvians, and that is good for me, because the Corvians when aggroed can be a pain in the ass. So I'm resorting to turn and burns, because they are being very aggressive, and now this guy goes again for the Stomp, and I know that he probably won't follow up because he didn't earlier, so I get him with the backstab. I'm using the Silver Cat Ring, which in this situation doesn't make a lot of sense, because even if the bridge falls down, I will die, even if I have the Silver Cat Ring, so I just forgot to swap the rings. I'm still going for turn and burns, which work very well with this axe because it has like a deceptive moveset, is unique to this axe. And again I go for the turn and burn, and I get a little bit lucky because the Great Sword, the Ultra Great Sword, goes over me. Now I go out, he swings again, I go in, and I go for the backstab. So everything is going well, 2 phantoms are dead, and now I just need to kill this dude. So I go for the Undead Hunter Charm, he still gets a heal off, but I'm not very worried, because the Millwood Battle Axe is surprisingly good chase down weapon for an axe. Because of its weapon art. Now this guy goes for the charged R2 and I get my hit before his attack comes out, and I get the kill on this 3v1. Now this is a Samurai build. It's a soul level 80 dex build in which I'm carrying a lot of weapons. The trade-off comes in the form of very low armor and low poise. I'm using the Murakumo as my main weapon, a Chaos Blade and dagger for criticals, Eastern Iron Shield to use with the Chaos Blade, a Cestus, which should have been Blast Infused but I forgot, and the Sellsword Twin Blades. So the spawning point was really bad. They were on top of me as soon as I spawned into the host world. And now I'm waiting for them to make the first move, because there's a lot of curse inflicting hands on the way, so if they come to me it would be a good fighting spot. So I'm just being passive and waiting for them, and the white L1 wiggles, and that's a bad idea because you'll look like an idiot when you die. So these guys are now aggroed on me, and I just casually go between the two of them unlocked, because I want to keep my back to the level, and also it gives me the opportunity to do a turn and burn. Now I'm still unlocked, and I go for the third swing against the Phantom. And you see, you look like an idiot. And the Murakumo is very good at that third R1. So I go for the R1, this is bait. The idea is to go for the weapon art. I could have gone just for an R1 because I can poise through Onikiri and Ubadashi with the Murakumo indefinitely. A fun fact, Murakumo is the Onikiri and Ubadashi is the only katana that has hyper armor on its weapon art. It's the only move on katanas that has hyper armor. And so I'm just punishing this guy, punishing the heals. I could have done this with the Murakumo, but I felt like playing with the Chaos Blade. And again, the weakness of this build is its low armor. So, for example, now this guy goes for the Honest Slayer, and just look at the damage. It was amazing. So I really need to play very clean with this build. Now a blue gets summoned, I hear footsteps, I know that the blue is coming, and so I proceed to the level because I want to see what the blue looks like. And now they are being very passive, they don't want to fight me. Now a second blue comes in, and the first blue is just sitting down there. So I just need for one of them to make a move, and then I go for the Oni Slayer Great Bow instead of the Murakumo. So I swap weapons. Now I'm very bad with arrows, and of course I fail the shot. But this guy just sits there, and the host is somewhere else. It's not in the immediate vicinity, so I go in. And now they are aggroed on me, and now I want to see if they want to fight me without the second blue. And this guy is being very aggressive, so now I want to go for the Murakumo, but I forgot that I still have the Oni Slayer Great Bow on, so I go for the Murakumo. And this guy was just around the corner. Now the second blue joins in on the fight. Also notice that I'm using the Estus ring as a standard ring in this build. This is to compensate the lack of armor, because each heal will heal me more and will give me a greater buffer. Now this guy goes for the Onikiri and Ubadashi, and the idea was always to draw them here. But these guys don't fall for the bait until this guy goes for the Sunlight Spear, and now both of them are down here. Because he took a step forward when he used his miracle, and now the host also joins the fight. So, and this is a trap that I try to always use in this part of the level, because these guys are really strong and they are really chaotic. So you just need to manage the chaos and try to increase it as much as you can. So I try to always defend the mobs. Even if I'm not doing a lot of damage, in order to increase the chaos and try to get some advantage. Now this guy goes for the Honest Slayer from neutral, which is easily spaced out, and then I go for the running attack with the katana, because its running attack is really good. But just because the host is dead, I also try to go for the parry. And this is how I usually parry with katanas. I go for a R1, and then I go for the restart parry. And I really like to parry with katanas because it's harder than with other parry tools. This was a clone version, I think. This is the Frost Knight build. It's a meta level quality build with an emphasis on dexterity for increasing Frida's damage. This build causes frostbite really quickly, with Frida's and the Eritreal Straight Sword increasing the frostbite build-up from one another. I almost always use a Frida's Greatside as a spell, going for the weapon art into R1 and then reverting to the Straight Sword. This is because the Greatside normal moveset is really bad in my opinion. I will show more invasions with this build in other videos. I'm using the full Outrider Knight set, and, besides Frida's and the Straight Sword, I'm using a Cestus, which again should have been a Blessed Cestus, but I always forget, and they'll well in for parries. Previously I was using the Pontiff Knight shield, which looks amazing on this build, but I had to stop using it because it's really bad. So this invasion took place at Demon Ruins, and I usually don't invade here because I almost always invade with high level builds, and this is more a medium level, a soul level invasion place. So I see that there's two members to the party. There's the host, there's a summon, and there's the NPC. And this guy is hiding behind the shield, so I go for the Eritreal Straight Sword, and I'm trying to get the weapon art into R1 in order to shield break him. So now I notice that this guy is using sorceries, soul arrows, and the other guy also seems to be a sorcerer. So now I'm doing what I always do against sorcerers that are spamming. I just roll out of everything in order to waste their FP. But it's a bit hard to go in because Knight Sorig can do a bit of damage, and if I get stun locked by the fume, I'll probably get killed by the soul arrows. So now I go for the turn and burn. I don't have a lot of health, so I didn't pressure at this moment because I was afraid of getting hit. And now I see that the Phantom is quite squishy. But I'm taking a bit of damage, and it's been really hard to get in on them. I know that the Black Knight is at the end of the bridge, and that the Black Knight will aggro on me. And so I'm paying a lot of attention to his sounds in order to know when to roll. Now now I have a plan, and the plan is to let the Black Knight aggro on Sorig, and I'll try to go around to the back of the party. So I have to transverse the bridge and wait for the Knight to aggro on Sorig. The Black Knight will kill Sorig, probably. and then I can get to the rest of the party. Now this guy goes for he was locked on Sorig, and he goes for his attack, and he almost threw me off the bridge. So now I unlock, and I follow to the plan, which is to go to the back of the party. Now I know that this dude is very squishy, so I just want to get out of line of sight of the spell, and now I can kill him fast. Now I know, now I can hear that Sorig is fighting the Black Knight, so probably the Black Knight will kill Sorig fast. So I go for the Frida's weapon art in order to damage the host. Then I revert to the Erythril Straight Sword, and I get the quick kill. And also Sorig died to the Black Knight. So this was a case of everything going according to plan. I really enjoyed this one. So that's all for this episode, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.